Hi everyone, I am Shauna Lewis, and I will be sharing with you today about experiencing music from around the world. And I have had the opportunity to share this with a group of 9 to 12-year-olds. So I wanted to share it virtually as well and just share with you all the experiences that I've had around the world. And I hope that it can be interesting for you. So I'm sorry for the layout, but I couldn't get Canva to show it full screen and keep sharing my screen, so I'm going this way and hopefully I could figure it out soon. But the main thing is that you can hear the sound that I'll share. In this presentation, I'll be sharing about three countries that I've been to and experienced the music and culture of: Albania, Romania, and then Peru, in that order. So please enjoy. First, I'll talk about Albania. So as you can see, Albania is located in Europe and it is southeastern of Europe. It's a very tiny country. You might have a hard time, although I invite you to look on your map. Take a moment to find your map if you have a little world map in your house or school or even on the wall. And I want you to look for Albania. I'll give you a few seconds. Hopefully you found it. If not, you could pause the video. And it's considered the Balkan Peninsula. And it is by the Adriatic Sea and the Ionian Sea. So, a very beautiful, beautiful country. I'd like to share with you the instruments. So, going one by one, as you see here, there's a kaval, lahuta, chifteli, the little line under the sea makes it a ch sound, the daire, zorla, tupan, accordion. So, I apologize if I butchered any of the pronunciations, but as far as I know, that is the way to say it. So the lahuta will be first. I'd like to share with you. Next will be the chifteri. Again, apologies for the technology and that it's all small screen, but I hope it's not distracting and that you can still get the point of the music. Next is the kaval. Here's an idea of the sound. Next, I want to show you the accordion. And that's a very famous dance that I will talk about later. That is the melody being played on the accordion. Let's listen next here. It's called the Tupan. And they're queen of the streets as well. Here we're going to listen to the Zorla.
Давай.
Next, direct. Well, and I'd like you to pay attention to how are the all the sounds different of these different instruments, the stringed instruments, the drumming instruments, the instruments that are blown into, how do they all sound different from each other? I'd like to hear. This is me in Albania. I was there for 5 months in a city called Vlora, and the traditional clothing looks something like this. It's basically usually there's a little hat, a vest, dress, blouse, and this is the flag of Albania, the red flag and the bird on it. So, as I shared before, I'm going to sh talk about the types of dancing. So, there's of course many types, but I want to share about two main types. One is the warrior or sword dances. For example, the Rogova sword dance. So I will share a few of those. Then there's also the open circle or line dances, such as the Vale. And I did experience the dance of the line dance or circle dance. It's very a communal dance that it happens very often. So for an event, wedding, birthday party, you name it, there's usually this culture of a circle or line dance, which I personally think is very nice. And I'll start there.
Başka umarım bebek bittiğim Gayet yolda sorriso non gioverai Perdon, non finì per conquistare E sicura non cadì se mato per
You get the idea, but honestly, the dances could go on for hours. There's so many beautiful dances that I wish I could share more. But for now, we will go there. And next is the sword dance. Just real quick, can you listen to hear the instruments in the background? For example, that one. Can you name it? Which instrument is that? Yeah, there's a dance in the costume. You can see the clothing. I'm curious what you came up with, but I believe that I saw the Tupan and either the Zorla or the Caval or both in the background. You let me know what you thought. Same or different. So, next I'd like to talk about Romania. And from this country, music can be folk, melancholic, which means a little sad, and similar to blue. Instruments such as the Fluer, Nai, Taragot, Cimbalom, and Kobza are played. The dance is considered to be communal chain dances like the hora, sash dance, stick dance, the polka, all many types. And clothing is often featuring the embroidered blouse and sheepskin coat for when it's cold. I'd like to show you or take a moment to look on your map again for the to find this country. It's a little bigger, so I hope you found it. And let's look at the instruments. First is the nai. I felt pretty soothed and calm by this instrument. Next, the tarot. Nice. Next, this is called the cimbalom. So you saw it here, cimbalom, and it's you're gonna hear it with the guitar as well, but see if you can watch and see. How do you observe him playing it? Is he playing with one or two sticks? Does it look easy or difficult? How about his face? Does he look concentrated or bored? So those are the three types of instruments, and you already looked on your map, but if you look again, this is the country's layout. It is bordered by Ukraine, Hungary, Moldova, Ukraine, I already said, Bulgaria, Serbia, and the Black Sea, and the capital of which is Bucharest, which is the place I stayed in for a few months. The clothing as well, it's as you can see, the blouse has flowers, and then it's kind of covered in more the skin of warmth, like woolen flowers on the head sometimes. You'll see a few examples that I will show you. So I first want to share this video clip, which is when I was personally in Romania learning a dance from a friend. Yeah, that's the video. Maybe you could see that I was wearing the blouse, which is this was the National Day of Independence of the country of Romania. So we were celebrating with the attire, food, and dance, and I was learning the steps of the dance. Pretty cool. I'd like to share the music of Albania. So there's no video, but you can listen to the audio and see if you can pick out the instruments just to look at one more time. It was the Nai, the Cimbalom, and the Taragot that we looked at, but maybe you can hear more. So let's go into it. So yeah, That's some instrumental. Could you pick out anything? I don't know about you, but when I listen, I feel like dancing. And if you're from Romania or Albania or this eastern part of Europe, I'm sure you are aware. But if not, I want to try to express as best as I can what it's like to be in an environment of dancing where everyone knows the steps and you're in a circle, you're in a line, everyone's doing it together, just at a party, playing the music, everyone's doing it. If you're from America, I might equip it to uh dance like the Macarena. It's not even originally American, but uh or the cha-cha slide, something like that, where when it's on, like everyone knows it, except these songs are maybe more traditional or based in culture more than the songs I might have mentioned. I was just trying to give an example for those who are American, but yeah. Uh, I'll play it a little longer just so you can hear some of the sound, the singing, the language. That's it. So there we go. Some of the music, and I'd like to share with you some dance. There are several, so we'll pick a few first. The stick dance. There you go. That's a stick dance. So I'll share one more about this one. Oh, beautiful. isn't it? And that is all of Romania. So I hope you like the looking at the music, the dance, and just think about what was similar, different to Albania's music that you could see. So next we'll be going to Peru, and in this country, the language is predominantly Spanish, located in South America, to give you a clue. The rich music, it blends the Andean Spanish and African influences that you might hear in the music, and some genres include Andean music, música criolla, marinera, Afro-Peruvian music. Um, I would like you to look on your map for the country. Take a few minutes. And next, I'd like to share the instruments. So we have the pan flute, which is also called the zampoña, the Andean flute, charango, guiro, and cajon. So let's get into it. Zampoña. Yeah. Next is the pan flute. See if you can see a difference. There you go. Next, let's look at what we call the charango. Hmm. There you go. Next, we got so yeah, it's called the Guido, right? And here it's a picture of a frog, which is one, but there's so many types. So let's look at this one. Okay. Um, Lastly is the cajon, and for this one, I actually hope you can see me, but I have it here, the cajon. So I don't know if you'll be able to hear me actually playing it, but at least you can see it in real life. So this it's about this big. And I'll show you all the sides. Is this the circle where what do you think the purpose of the circle is here? And basically, if I turn my camera down so that you can hopefully see something, usually the person will sit on top. There you go. There's a bit of an idea for you. I don't know if you heard that, but that's the cajon. And in the class, I would have each student who's interested try the cajon live while this is playing in the background. But since you're not live with me, unfortunately, if you have an instrument, I invite you to play it as we listen here to this ensemble. Percussion. Nice, right? And so in Peru, or Peru, the dance, the marinera, is a national folk dance of Peru. They use handkerchiefs and they have a very particular style of dress that I'll show you. Also, the clothing has very intricate, colorful designs, which is made of alpaca wool. Do you know what an alpaca is? You might see it. It's maybe similar to a llama, but the fur is very fluffy, very thick, and it's used to make these beautiful, colorful designs where people actually wear these clothes in the countryside, especially. So I'd like to share with you the dance. Mira, look, look. And see. here's an idea of the dance of Peru. And so that concludes the countries that I said I would talk about, which was Albania, Romania, Peru. I hope you enjoyed looking around the world with me at the different places I've been to and experienced the beauty of the culture and music. I'd actually like to give little bonus countries, if you don't mind. First, ask you, what is similar about the music in different countries compared with America? That is, if you are an American or have been to America and you know about America. Since I'm in America, that's the question I asked. But you can change America with whatever country you're a part of. Or if you live in one of the countries I shared about, do you think it was true what I shared? Think about if you're comparing it with a country, though. Think about the instruments, the sound, the clothing, the dance. What is different? What is similar? You can share amongst yourselves. Pause the video, feel free. I'm going to go into sharing about America in addition to three more countries. Just very briefly, I won't go in as much detail. But what do you know about the music of America to start off with? What do you know about it? America is unique in that it has a blend from various places and cultures. The roots of the music, it's considered American roots. Music is considered folk music, blues, bluegrass, and gospel. Honestly, there's a lot of roots, and I am not going over all of them because there's so much. So I'm just sharing very briefly and kind of focusing on the folk aspect, but honestly, there's a lot more that I could focus on. So I encourage you to do your own research about the music of America and the popular songs you listen to. Like there might be rhythms or vocalizations that come from historical roots. But let's look at some music.
It was down in old Joe's barroom on the corner by the square.
And so like I don't want to cause offense to anyone because I just chose like one singing person, but this is just an example, and I'm sure I could show a lot more of American music, but that's it for now. I'd like to share also about more about the roots of my own culture. And so I'll start off with Germany. Germany, the traditional folk music, like Volksmusik and Schlager, there were also electronic genres that influenced the music, such as Krautrock. The thriving modern scene includes rock, pop, and hip hop, but a lot of contributions around the world to classical music was actually made by Germany. And so let's listen to a little bit of the more of the folk. Like again, I'm kind of focusing on the folk aspects of the music and origins. So, do you know what the type of singing is called? It's kind of different, right? From like other types of singing you might have heard. If you know it, that's awesome. It's called yodeling. And I wonder if you also recognized an instrument that was being played in the background, if that was one of the instruments we talked about from a different country. Could you tell? What do you think? Mhm. And so I'll next go into Wales. As Wales has a rich tradition of folk music, harmony, choral singing. It's often called the land of song. Ancient Celtic influences and strong traditional harp music, the Saraband, which is I will show you a little clip. But in modern Welsh music, there's also popular rock, pop, other genres that focus on both the Welsh and English languages. So let's listen a little bit.
Ar le na welodd dyn erioed, anturen byd ydyw hon, ond dyw ei dail o don I don. That was Welsh.
He said it himself, but yeah, that's Welsh. And there's the beautiful harp. And lastly, I would like to share about Korea. So the music of Korea has very rich tradition, folk and classical styles, modern genres like, of course, the globally popular K-pop, but traditional genres of jeongak, minyo, pansori, and the modern influences of hip hop, rock, R&B. I'd like to share a little of Pansori, which is mm, narrated song you'll see.
이리 오너라 업고 놀자 이리 오너라 업고 놀자 사랑 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 내 사랑이야 사랑
옛날 소리 한 사람
So she'll be sharing, then I won't show the whole clip, but it might look simple, but it's actually very difficult to get the sound out. So I'll just share a little.
들은 선생님도 그런 말씀 하시는데 소리를 너무 잘하면은 그냥 순간 심장이 멎어 버리는 것 같대요.
So yeah, she's very, very talented Pansori artist telling the story. And so that concludes the presentation that I wanted to share with you about the countries around the world that I experienced. And hopefully it was interesting to you that you can use it in your classroom or at home or just as education for yourself. And I encourage you to explore music, even if you don't travel to the country, just look at music that's a little different from what you usually listen to and expand your own horizons. So thank you for joining. Apologize for technical stuff, but really appreciate you. So thank you and have a good night or day or afternoon wherever you are. Bye.